Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with the spirit of stagnation. We are dealing with the spirit of stagnation in your life. And I want to continue today with part 3. And we are dealing with things that cause stagnation in your life. Things that cause stagnation in your life. The first thing that I want to deal with today that cause stagnation in life is what we call competition spirit. Competition spirit. Now, comparing yourself with other people will delay you, sir. It will actually kill you. It will make you not to progress at all. It will make you stuck in the place where you are, and you will remain stagnant in your life. Don't compare yourself with other people. Don't compete with people, because comparison has got a tendency of causing stagnation too. It's got a tendency of measuring yourself to a level of other people. And while you find that that level of the people is actually mediocrity on its own, and therefore you're setting a standard with people that are mediocre themselves, and therefore you are limiting yourself from growing and maturing. And therefore you become stagnant because you are competing with people and you are actually putting yourself at the standard of the people. If you compare yourself with others, let it be to motivate yourself rather than to discourage yourself. Because many times we actually compare ourselves and feel that we are inadequate. And as a young man, I want you to be careful of that, because if you compare yourself with others, let it be to motivate you to say, I want to grow like so-and-so. I want to become successful like so-and-so. And I want to improve my life like so-and-so. So that is a comparison that is acceptable. And that is a competition that is acceptable. So you compare yourself with people by motivating yourself. But if you compare yourself and say, I compare with myself with so-and-so, he has got a car, and I don't have a car, therefore I'm useless. So-and-so have got a business and is successful in his business, and therefore because my business is not successful, I'm useless. That is a wrong comparison. And that's what I'm talking about today. As a young man, I want to be careful of comparing yourself with others, because that will make you to get stagnant. Now, the spirit of stagnation is caused by competition spirit. So be careful of that, of comparing yourself to discourage yourself. Pursue your dreams and do not stop because you think others are better. Don't rev yourself up. Don't actually destroy yourself. Don't discourage yourself and think that others are better than you. Don't actually stop yourself from shining and actually restrict yourself and thinking that there are people that know better and think that they are better than you. So sometimes we limit ourselves by comparing ourselves with others, that we even silence ourselves instead of speaking because we think that we are in the midst of people that know better. So I want to discourage you of such approach and such type of spirit, because as a young man, you're going to limit yourself of any type of success in your life by comparing yourself with other people. But that will stop you from becoming better. In life, there's always someone who will do better than you, of course. But then that must not be intimidating. And that must not be to threaten you not to be able to speak. That must not be to subdue you so that you must not rise up and be able to pursue the dreams that you have in your life. Now, as a young man, have dreams and pursue those dreams. And don't hold yourself back and become stagnant because you are afraid to raise your voice in the middle of people that you think they are better than you. Of course, there will be people that are better than you. There will always be someone who is better than you. But accept yourself, run your race, and finish strong. And make sure that you run in your own lane, at your own pace as well. And you cannot rush yourself because others have already arrived. So please, as a young man, be careful of that. Because when you compare yourself, sometimes we rush things because we want to be where others are. While we need to be patient with ourselves so that we can finish at the right place, at the right time as well. So be patient with yourself. Now, another cause of stagnation in the life of a young man is what we call comfort zone. And I want to warn you against comfort zone as a young man, because many of the young men remain stagnant. They sit back, they don't want to do anything because they are comfortable. When they're supposed to go for promotion, they will tell you, I'm comfortable where I am. I don't want to stress myself by leading people because people will stress me. People are troublesome and so on. And you delay yourself from progress because you remain stagnant because you're comfortable where you are. Failure to take a risk in life is risky on its own. And remember also that this life is a risky life. If you don't risk this life, you are risking then by not risking. And therefore, this is actually a challenge because you actually put yourself under stagnation by not risking in life. Now, as a young man, be a risk taker. Be somebody who's rising up and say, I'm going to try, put an effort in your life, and also attempt doing things as well. Don't be afraid to start things because thinking that you'll fail, rise up and don't be comfortable in the place where you are. Now, I want you as a young man to remember that many people miss opportunities in life because of comfort zones, because they sit where they are and they think that it should be the end of it. And I want to tell you now that there's more than where you are. There's something more than where you have arrived. And therefore, you cannot stick there and think that that's the end of the road. And as a young man, rise up, please, and become a better human being by challenging situations in your life and become better. So please, don't be stagnant because of your comfort zone. The other cause of stagnation, which is common with young men as well, is what we call indecision. You're very indecisive to an extent that there's just nothing that you're deciding. Now, I've seen young men that cannot decide to get married. They don't know whether they want to get married or not. They cannot decide. I've seen young men as well who cannot decide on a career choice. They don't know what they want to be. They just don't know. You ask them what you want to be, they don't know because they are undecided about anything. I've seen young men who are undecided about the business ideas that they have. They've got this business idea. They're just so undecided whether they want to pursue that business or not. And hence you will see many of our young men relying on what we call New Year resolutions. Every 31st of December in the night, besting crickets, bah, bah. And from there, they actually make up some plans that are very emotional in nature. They tell themselves they're going to do this in this coming year, but they don't pursue that. They remain in their comfort zone. They become undecisive to an extent that they will never start that which they said they will start. And that is why there forever being delays in everything that you want to do, and you become stagnant because of that. Now, as a young man, be decisive, please. And I've seen young men that cannot decide with simple things like coffee or tea. Do you want coffee or tea? You find somebody says anything. I'm not saying anything here. I'm saying make a decision between coffee and tea. Because if you cannot make a decision in small matters like coffee and tea, you cannot make a decision in greater decision-making platforms where you need to make decisions. And as a young man, come out of that mentality of indecisiveness, make decisions, make choices, and go for your choices. If you go wrong with a particular choice or a decision, so what? Let it be and bear the consequences and live with those consequences. At least you've been decisive. There are those that are not decisive and they're in problems today because they've been undecisive in the past. And as a young man, I want you to know that it is costly to become undecisive because some of the people cannot decide because they think that it's costly to decide. But I want to tell you, it's more costly to be undecisive in your life than to be decisive. As a young man, remember that you'll be stagnant because you cannot decide. And I want to urge you to decide and become decisive. I want to close today by this particular cause of stagnation called procrastination. Now, this is another thing that causes people to be stagnant in their lives. Many young men have been stagnant in their lives, and some are still stagnant today because of procrastination. Tendencies of postponement and things of saying, I'll do tomorrow. Things that I'll do later. And those decisions that I'll do tomorrow, I'll do next week. And those tendencies of saying I'll do it next year and keep on postponing things and never commit to do things and complete them. Now, this is dangerous, and I want you to be aware that when you are not decisive about what you want to do and don't do it now, you are delaying yourself, because time wasted shall never be regained. It is difficult, actually, to recover time that is past. Remember that time is like a running river. You cannot touch it at the same place every time you delay, because the water will pass through, the time will pass through, and you cannot hit on the right spot again. So please don't delay yourself as a young man. Be decisive in nature, and please don't procrastinate. And make sure that whatever you decide you will do, start it now, because it is the right moment to start now. If you want to decide to get married, please decide and get married now, because that's the right time. You want to decide to make a to make a business, please, now that you've got that idea, please implement it now. And some of you have always been saying you want to go back to school and study, and you've always postponed, and every year postponed. And I want to urge you that this is the right time. So please pursue that dream, and you'll find yourself fulfilled in that. So the tendency of procrastination, postponing, delays implementation of decisions and plans. And many dreams die in the stage of procrastination. And I want to urge you as a young man that be careful not to let your dreams die at this stage, because many have actually allowed it to die at this stage. I want to end up here today. Your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and being part of this. This was part 3, of course, and we'll deal with part 4 tomorrow. And I believe also that you'll follow us on our social media platforms, our Church Governance Solutions Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum Facebook page as well, and also the Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. So click notification buttons and likes on those particular platforms. Make sure that also you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's a very, very rich YouTube channel that is having a lot of videos that were posted there that will help you in your life to become a better person. May you please subscribe. May you please click notification button that you are notified each time there is a post of this kind, and you will learn out of those. I want to urge you to join us as we continue with part 4 tomorrow. And your host, Micornus Phokane, once more, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I'm checking out right here, and allow me to say cheers for now.